Hey everybody, it's Matt from Rapid Creek Cidery. I'm going to talk today about something that could really be a nice holiday addition to your menu, stuffed apples. Obviously here at the orchard we have tons of different apples. Cutting off the top, hollowing them out, putting either a savory or a sweet, stuffing inside of them and doing a bake on them. It's a great thing to put out on a buffet. It's a great thing if they're really big. You can even split them in half and share one with people. Things you can put inside of them is fairly endless. We're gonna do today one that's sweet with dates and oats and cream cheese and walnuts and honey. And then we're gonna do a savory one with bacon and collard greens and blue cheese and scallions. Both of those would be lovely additions to any roast turkey or roast ham or roast beef. I think it'd be really kind of a neat thing to do this holiday season. Mainly I just wanna show you the technique, because when you do put these out, they look like they're hard to do, and there's nothing better than something that looks hard that you know you didn't spend too much time on. You want to pick an apple that is going to be right for your size. These are both Honeycrisp apples. They're fairly large, but there's endless number of apples that would work well. I've been doing it with a Gold Rush apple at the restaurant lately, a little smaller. You definitely want an apple that's going to stay firm. There's any number that will work that you can find in your store, or you can find here at the orchard, or you can find them on our bite-sized series on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to cut this top off and show you how we do this. So you just want to get 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch off the top like that. You don't have to do this, but I think it gives a nice sort of flat surface for the stuffing. And then we take I like to use like a sharp edged, thin rimmed tablespoon and start digging it out. Kind of turning the apple as you go and going in. You don't want to make the walls too hollow, because then it's gonna break down when you bake it. But you have to go down through the core, get all that out. It's probably gonna be about 1.5 inches deep. We're getting to the seeds. And once you get below the seeds, you really wanna stop, because you wanna have the bottom be strong enough and thick enough that when you stuff it, it's not gonna break out the bottom. Now again, if you go through the bottom, it's not a huge deal, but you might get a little leakage and it just might dry out a little bit. Your stuffing might. Okay, so there's one. Again, it's about 1.5 inches down. Do the other one real quick. There's tons of other things you could put in here. You could use kind of the same kind of stuffing you might use for a turkey. You know, you could do cornbread and sausage. You could do like a diced ham and rye. I did that once, it was really great. Things that go with apples are gonna work here really well. It's really versatile. And then for the sweet ones, I mean, that's obviously endless. I did one where we did like a oatmeal cookie dough inside there and baked it, and everybody just loved it. And they'll stay hot for a long time after you bake them, which is nice. Okay, there's the other one, all right? So once you have those done, I like to put a little oil down in the bottom and on the rims. This is olive, but you could use canola, you could use a little bacon fat if it's a savory one. And we'll do this sweet one first. So this is dates, walnuts, oats, cream cheese, and honey. And like I say, you just mix it in a bowl. I just go in my fridge or go in my pantry and find some stuff and chop it up and mash it together. It's always good to have a little fat, whether it's cheese or butter, because when it melts, it just kind of gives a richness to it that I really like. The apples themselves tend to eat fresh even when they are roasted, so having something kind of rich is really pleasant. And you just get as much as you can to get in there. I really try to pack it pretty full. All there is to it right there. And then this is the savory one. It's collards, blue cheese, bacon, and scallion. Again, I like to put some kind of cheese or fat in there that's gonna melt into it. We also did one with roasted chilies and corn this year, that right at the end of the season, that was really good. Okay, so once you have those stuffed, you're just gonna put them in some kind of oven-proof pan that has a rim to it. And I do a little cider down the bottom, probably just about 1/2 inch, because when you're cooking that, the juices are gonna melt out from the apples, and once in a while you can go back in the oven and do a little bit of a base with it, get some of that juice on top. It's really great. And then I'll put these in an oven. I do 350, depending on the size of the apple, about 30 minutes. These big Honeycrisps I did this morning took 35 minutes, and they were just tender in the center, Everything was melted great. And I did stop probably halfway through and spoon a little bit of the juice on top. So again, this is a great thing to do for the holidays. You know, it's gonna be a hit whatever you do. Okay, so this is what they look like after they're roasted. This is the one with blue cheese and collards and bacon. And this is the one with oats and dates and walnuts and honey. A good way to know if they're done is kind of give them a little bit of a squeeze. And if they kind of give, but then at the bottom they feel pretty firm, that's a good sign because you know they're gonna be holding up straight. If you go too long, they're just gonna crack or leak out the sides or even kind of collapse. I do find that the best apples for these tend to be pretty forgiving. I was gonna slice one in half just to give you a sense as to what it's gonna look like inside. This is the sweet one with the walnuts and dates. And I just cut right down through the middle. And again, you could open these up on your buffet like that if you wanted to, right? And that'd be great. You could garnish it with something too. You could make a caramel. You could even do like a chocolate sauce with this as well. I think I did one like this with cherries where I did a little bit of like a reduced cherry syrup, which is really nice. And then this is the one with the bacon and the blue cheese. Again, that's gonna be nice and like savory. The bacon's nice and smoky. All that stuff goes so well with apples. The apples are gonna really contribute kind of, even when they're roasted, kind of a freshness to the dish, especially if you pick an apple that's kind of high in acid. It's gonna really help that as well with your rich fillings. So again, I really recommend doing this. It's not hard to do. It looks really cool. Your guests are gonna love it, and it's gonna be really, really delicious with all your holiday meals. So again, this is Matt from Rapid Creek Cidery, and give us a try. Thanks a lot.